Story time. So I was thinking about this today, and it's a really cool memory, actually, or a lot of cool memories. Um, and so let's talk about it. The champion chess player, the little champion chess player. My mom had a really neat wood chess set in the light color and the dark color. That we had for years. It was probably my dad's, but originally. But anyway, my mother could play some chess, and she loved to play it. She'd play it as many times as you'd play it, and I was just little, and uh, she would want to play a game of chess, and we got to play a game of chess. And I mean, she'd tear you up every time. And she could do this thing like the three move open, checkmate, and all kinds of stuff. She was pretty incredible. And she would laugh every time she'd get you. And it was just so easy for her. I mean, she just never sweat, you know. And so I would go to the library and I would get books on chess. And I would read all these books from all these pros and everything. And so, uh, happy Father's Day to who? To everybody? Because I'm not a dad. But anyway, anyway, uh, I would play her and I'd read all these books at the library and, study all these big chess pros and everything and just get every book I could read so I could try to beat my mom and couldn't do it. She's just unreal chess player. And so uh, that was one thing you can never beat her on is a game of chess. Don't even try. Uh, really look up to her for that. My idol. But anyway, so my daddy played chess too, so maybe that was something they liked to do when they were married. I don't know. They separated when I was real young. But anyway, so starts there. And oh, you don't do well for chess. It's a very heavy thinking process. You have to be able to stop the world and just go right into it. And checkers are so easy. Oh my gosh. Uh, Says I'm better at cards and checkers. Cards is kind of boring for me. I've played every kind of card game there is except for like poker. That's like really boring, and I'm like the poker queen. Trust me. um, but and I don't even know what I'm doing. But uh, well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, so anyway, I played my dad a few times, and it's okay. But my mother's iconic chess player. So I would teach my little girl how to play chess when she was just little bitty. And so she was probably 5 or 6 years old. And she got really good. And I mean, it was really strange. She could mastermind stuff, like working on cars, taking stuff apart, putting it back together, things like that. And other things were problematic. And there's a reason for that. Um, she was born with a slight disability or created a slight disability at one point in her young lifetime. But she had a little bit of a traumatic time because of a guy I was married to. Um, and that was real stressful when we were going through a divorce for her, which I did not want that at all. And that dumbbell really was something else. Yeah, it was just a bit much for her little bitty self. But we still, um, you know, try to make the best of everything and keep it happy. And so, we really enjoyed playing chess. And one day we were up at Dothan, and now also, my brother is like the championship chess player. I mean, he actually does tournaments and stuff like that. He's incredible. He has a beautiful chess set in his house that you would love to have. That he's absolutely brilliant when it comes to chess. I mean, the whole world does stop, and nothing makes noise, and nothing moves when he plays. It's amazing. But he's a brilliant guy anyway. But anyway, so we had gone out to this place in Dothan. We used to do our church meetings up there too. At Atlanta Bread, Atlantic Bread, something like that. I think it's Atlanta Bread. And it's they have like all these coffee drinks. They have like some donut stuff, and they have some simple little meals. And our favorite meal is this like onion soup thing in a bread thing, in a loaf of bread kind of thing. They kind of carve out the inside of the bread, and they pour the soup in there, put cheese all over it. It's really neat, and it's a tasty thing. If you're into onion soup, it's the way to fly. It is absolutely delicious. Well worth every penny, and I think it was about $7 back then. But anyway, so you know, we went up there one day and they were playing chess, and there was 4 or 5 people there, and so we went in to have our little soup thing and all that. We just had a ball with that, and we would split it. It was just too much fun. Um, and then you know, my daughter would be looking over there at the chess guys, and I knew she'd had a huge interest, you know. And it's kind of funny because you kind of go, well, I mean, I wonder if we should go over there, say something, or not say something, or wait till the game ends, and she could meet some people that play chess. And these guys were really, really, really good. And there was one older gentleman. I mean, he had to be in his 80s, if not older. And he was supposed to be like the kingpin of chess players. And he was just a doll. And so anyway, we kind of watched from our table about 3 or 4 tables away, and my daughter was just sucked up by this whole deal. And I said, well, maybe when they finish the game, we'll kind of waltz on over there and say hello. And so we did. We waited through the game. She's watching every move, every step, and I mean, just hypnotized by this. It was amazing. And she was just a little bitty thing, you know, like 5, 6 years old, maybe. And uh, so once they got done, we kind of walked on over there, and she's always all dolled up, real cute and everything. And we went to say hello, and they were really nice. And we said, is this like a chess club or what is it? And they said, oh no, we like compete and stuff, and you could call it a club, I guess, but we meet here, you know, once a week to do the competition stuff. I think it was like on a Sunday or something. And um, I said, really? And they said, oh yeah, and they had their little list in front of them, and so they were there to like play games, and they did like put points on each other and stuff. And so the the older gentleman, he said, have you ever played chess? To my little girl, and she says, yes. And he says, do you like to play chess? She says, yes. And he says, oh yeah, haha, and he's kind of giggling, thinking, well, that's really cute and everything. And I'm like going, no, because I have this other mastermind kid. Um, all my kids have some incredible talents, um, and that are like by far of normal. And this one in particular, just really incredible with chess. And so uh, he said, "Would you like to play a game of chess?" And she said, "Sure." So he wanted to take his little break there, and he got out of the booth there, and he let this other guy play her, and they just thought it was just going to be a cute little thing. Oh no, she's like way into this, right? And so she goes through a pretty tough little game, and then wipes this guy out. And the older gentleman's watching it, and he's looking at me, and he looks at her, and he looks at me, and he said, "Well, little girl, would you like to play a game of chess?" She says, "Yes, sir." So he gets over to the table, sits across from her, sets that board up, looks at her. She's like major serious, serious as a heart attack. Okay, he goes to play her, and it was a pretty tough little game, and I thought he's just gonna be easy on her. This guy was like really thinking. Um, Pretty incredible game, and that's just a little bitty kid, you know, and an older gentleman, and it was unreal. It was like so hard to tell how that game was really going to come out. Um, if it was going to tie or who was actually going to win, how that deal was going to go. Um, and she just about beat him in the end. I mean, so close. And they got done, and I mean, she was not a crybaby kind of thing over stuff like that. All she wanted to do was learn how to be better. It was like, okay, it's a quick loss, so I'll just be better next time. And the guy looks at me and he talks to me. He said, "Look," he said, "how she want to play chess like that?" I said, "I think it's kind of inherited. So it's kind of through the family. My mom was an incredible chess player. My dad played a little. I played and studied a lot of it. And you know, it was a big thing for me. Um, and until I was about 12, and I've read every book on it and I watched championships. I've watched them play for hours and hours down at Venice Beach in California, and I say it's just something she likes to do. You know, I'm like my brother's even played her, and he finds her to be pretty incredible. And he said, you ought to let her compete. He said, we play here. I think it was like every Sunday or something. He said, we play here every Sunday, and if she would like to come and play, she's welcome to. And he handed me the papers and all, and they had like a sign up fee or whatever. And he said, don't even worry about the fee. He said, if she'd like to play, you just bring her. I said, really? And I asked her, I said, do you want to, play some more chess sometime? And she was just thrilled to bits. Gave the guy a big hug, thanked everybody, and it was just like the biggest day of the year, you know, and which is really neat. I mean, chess is a really serious game. That is no joke. That's like rebuilding a Rochester Quadrajet 4 carburetor. Serious stuff. Um, it's not simple. It takes a lot of thought process because every move is absolutely critical. So I thought it was kind of cool. And when we had the chance and stuff, we would go to Dothan and we would go up to Atlanta Bread and be so excited to be able to have our onion soup thing and maybe a sandwich too, and then she could go play the chess players. So yeah. So sometimes some things in life will really shock you, and uh, she's definitely the little champion chess player, and always will be. Let's see. This is like some of the card games. Bridge is very challenging. I couldn't even figure bridge out. That was just never my thing, and I kind of thought that was like an old ladies game. I just never was really quite into that. But I could throw down some poker now. I hope you guys are doing great this evening, and I hope you had a really blessed and profitable day. I've been working hard all day doing listings and stuff, and I never figured it out either. Yeah, it's real confusing. And you ever play with people that have cards and they like know every game in the book? They have like 50 different card games in their head, and it would just totally freak you out. Um, uh, I'm a little sad, but otherwise okay. Uh, yeah, I know the feeling. Yesterday, I was like crying all day. It was pretty sad, but still pretty bothered with all that too. But I'm sure it'll work itself out. But sorry for your sadness. Um, uh, but yeah. So I played Speedway was a really cool game with cards we used to play. Um, uh, my mom likes Go Fish. That was kind of wild. But there's all kinds of different little games, and it's amazing the games that people like to play. But I didn't like to get really heavy into cards unless it was like, um, and even solitaire. Now there's a serious bummer. I had a fiance that used to play solitaire for hours and hours and hours, and it was just ridiculous. I was like, God, this is so boring. And if it wasn't that, it was watching the reruns of Andy Griffith all the time and uh, that English show um, with what's his face. I can't think of the name of it. It's like Who's There or something like that. But weird English show. Um, and that's all he ever did for hours and hours and hours. And it's so sad. This guy was a really good looking guy. And he had his own business and everything. But boring dude, man. You know what I mean? It's a good thing they didn't have video games back then because he'd probably done that. you know? Um, yeah, he just, I was like hours. I mean, we went out on occasion, very nice places and stuff, but, it was kind of rare. When he was off work, he was just at home watching the old reruns of flipping Andy Griffith and playing solitaire in a recliner. And it's like, oh, whoop de doo. How I put up with that for years, I don't know, but I worked a lot too. So, yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. And I hope you have a really great evening. And it's so good to see you. I love you. Do something kind for a stranger. And I hope the rest of your day is very profitable and peaceful. I love you guys. Have a great one.